Welcome back, wannabes and creators, to another episode of The Business of Art, the podcast that demystifies business for artists. This week, I will be at my father's funeral, so I just didn't have time to do anything new. I'm sorry about that. I'm going to play for you the audio from a live video that I did in the Facebook group called The Biggest Lie We Tell Ourselves When We're Starting Out. I would love it if you joined the Facebook group at writingandsellingcommunity.com. It's pretty cool. Enjoy it. What up, wannabes and creators? It's Russell Nolte, publisher of Wannabe Press, host of the Business of Art podcast, and your illustrious admin on this Facebook group. And I want to talk about something. It's really chapping my ass today. I'm going to wait for a second until maybe a couple more people come on. I don't know, like these ones that I rant about are usually the least well attended, but probably the most helpful, because there's something that are happening in this fucking moment. It's literally just happening. I'm literally just thinking about it. So I need to get something off my chest, because when I was first getting started, I would look at creators who are further along the path from me, and I would beat myself up about all of the shit that was happening for them. How do they host AMAs? How do they have all of these big launches? How do they do all of this shit? It can't happen to me. I don't understand how it can happen to me. It will never happen for me. Does that sound like you? Because it definitely sounds like me. I mean, back in 2014, I was looking at people who were hosting Reddit AMAs and getting tons of response, who were doing massive launches in the first day. So like even bigger than mine, but like mine would be considered what I would consider a pretty big fucking launch in the first day. I mean, I made more in one day or in 2 days than I did in anything except for my biggest campaign I've ever done. So I think that's pretty fucking big. And I would ask myself, I would be like, oh, man, I'm not getting these AMAs. I'm not doing these big launches. It's never going to happen for me. I must suck. And now I look at all of this shit that comes to you when you have had some success. People coming out of the woodwork to ask you questions, to be on their show, to do interviews with you. And I'm very grateful for it. This is not a condemnation of those people. It's a condemnation of me and my success mindset. Because the minute that I started having these big launches, people came out of the fucking woodwork to ask me questions, to pick my brain, to be on my show, to offer to do Ask Me Anythings with me on Reddit and host them, as opposed to before when I was still making a great book. Like this book still sells today. This is the same creator. I'm the same fucking creator who made this book. I'm the same creator who made this book, which didn't even raise in an entire campaign what I did in the first day. I'm this same creator. I'm further along. I'm more grizzled, but I'm the same fucking guy. And what I told myself was, because I didn't have success then when this book launched, this book made $5,400. I couldn't get anybody to fucking cover it. I couldn't pay people to do, like when I paid people, they couldn't get me fucking coverage. And I was distraught here. I was distraught when I made this fucking book, because I would look at people who were doing all of these things that I wanted to do, had audiences, had people buy their books, could do launches over and over again. I just didn't fucking think I could ever do it. I thought it was magic. And The biggest lie that I bought was a lie that I told myself, which was that it would never happen or that those people were magic. And I'm here to tell you, as somebody now who 3 years ago me would have thought was magic, it's not fucking magic. It's not magic. If you can do the minute you have success, this shit starts happening and it starts rolling downhill. You start getting a bigger network. People start talking to you. People start asking you to do things. People start offering to bring you out to conventions. People start asking you to be on panels. People look at you a different way when you start having the kind of success that they want. And it's not magic. Honestly, it's a function of time. It's a function of time. So all of you people who are sitting out there worried that it will never happen for you, I don't even think it's happening for me really yet. But like I'm talking to me 3 years ago. Like most of this show, most of what I do is me talking to me 3 years ago or 5 years ago, when I was so frustrated that I couldn't do anything. And I will say that the minute that I launched this book and it was successful, it changed everything. The minute that I launched this book and it was successful and made almost 10 grand, it changed a lot. But the minute that I went over 20 grand, everything changed. Like people started thinking about me a different way. People started seeing me in a different light. This was great because this book legitimized the fact that I could make a thing. My second book showed that I could make things well. Then I had some pretty massive, pretty like humbling failures with very unsuccessful campaigns, still funded, but pretty unsuccessful. And then after all of that, I was still 5 campaigns in doing nothing. Like I was not getting a lot of press coverage. I was inching my way forward. I was getting some people on my mailing list. I was making a little bit of a name for myself. Then boom, I put that monster anthology together, and I swear to God, overnight, everything changed. People started looking at me differently. People started talking about me differently. And it was all a function of success. Whatever success means, whatever functional, going over $20,000, really going over $10,000 is a pretty big deal on Kickstarter. Going over $20,000 is a really big deal on Kickstarter. So I'm telling you this, the biggest lie is the lie we tell ourselves. It is the lie that we can never do it. Because I'm fucking telling you, man, 3 years ago, me would look at me now and think I was magic. And I'm not fucking magic. This is the 7th campaign that I'm running right now. And I've gotten exceedingly good at studying the craft of marketing, studying the craft of getting your audience excited, and studying the craft of making something that people want. And then I made a gamble. I made a lot of gambles. So my gamble was that if I made hardcover books, people would stand up and take notice. My gamble was that if I did an anthology with 50 creators, all aimed at my audience, people would stand up and take notice. And those gambles worked. For every gamble that I've made, there's been 100,000, not 100,000, 100 or maybe 1,000 that have failed miserably, that you don't even hear about. Promotions I've tried to run, books I've tried to get off the ground, stuff that I've tried that has not worked or I've fallen flat on my face. For instance, I have tried every scammy Kickstarter marketing thing there is. Every single motherfucking one. I've tried them all of them. In fact, it's gotten to the point they don't even really email me anymore because they just know, they just know that I'm on the list of maybe it's to the point where they have they used me, so they're never going to email me again. I don't know what it is, but I don't get those emails anymore from people on Kickstarter because I've fucking done them all. And when I email them back, I ask them 100 questions and none of them want to work with me because I know that they're scams. I have done every bullshit thing that there is to do. All in the sake of like getting my ass kicked so you don't have to, and so that I would know what getting my ass kicked felt like. And I can tell you for a fact, this guy and this guy are the same person. This was my first book. This was my sixth book. This book still sells. It still sells as well as it did, or better than it did. These books are the same person. This guy is more grizzled. This guy has had more time and more opportunity. Yes, he has built his career. Yes, he has a bigger network. Yes, he has more people that follow him. Yes, he has learned a lot. Yes, but he's the same fucking person. He's married to the same person. He lives in the. Trying to see if I lived in the same house. He lives in the same fucking house as he did. He sits in the same chair that he did that year, because I haven't gotten a new one. You could probably tell on my show it's like creaking quite a bit. Almost the same. He goes to the same shows, eats the same food. The only difference is he's better at making things and selling things now. So if you are, the biggest lie and the biggest change that I can tell you to make is stop beating yourself up when you don't get the offers, when people don't bring you out at shows. It is not because you suck. It is not because you suck. It is because you have not hit the level of success that you will if you keep going. Does that mean that it will be one book or two books or three books? I don't know. It took me launching 6 fucking books. And the book that got me success, the massive success, isn't even my book. It's an anthology that I edit. I mean, honestly, 2 years ago, I launched a book, and in 30 days, I could barely raise $8,000. I couldn't even think about trying for $15,000. I'd have pissed myself. Is this getting through? If this is getting through, like, do something, comment or like or something, because like I want to make sure that like I'm not trying to. This is an exciting day for me because offers come to me now. The offers I want, the real big, massive offers are still not coming, but like getting interviews or getting on podcasts or like getting people to offer me like promotional things, these things are like come now. These things that I beat myself up for because I wasn't good enough for them 2 years ago or a year ago, now come to me. They come. And it's a function of people saying, holy shit, you raised $8,000 in one day. Looking at their own campaigns, maybe that they're running, saying, oh, they raised 4 or 2, or maybe their campaign has raised $9,000 total in 30 days. And I don't know, like maybe I've hit a plateau. I don't know. Every time I look at my computer, I expect to have plateaued. I expect it to be like, oh, $8,500. That's just where we are. Like I don't have anything else. So I felt the need to come and explain this to you or talk about it now because people don't talk about it. They talk about saying, oh, you can get all of this stuff. You can get you can change your life in a month. You can get all of the offers. And I say, fuck that. Like maybe you can game the system. And I'm all about gaming the system. But I will tell you, once you start getting success, offers will come. Again, this might not come in the first book or the second book or the 8th book. But eventually, offers will come. People will want to fly you out places. People will want to have you on their show. People will ask you for things instead of you begging people, it will fucking happen if you continue making good things. If you figure out how to stand out from the noise. These hardcover books were just a way to try and get me to stand out from the noise of other comics and other people. Glow in the dark eyes was just a way to get me to try and stand out and grab your attention. Frankly, this Facebook group is a way to try and get you to grab your attention for 3 seconds. So I want you to stop lying to yourself. I want you to stop lying to yourself and saying that you're not good enough, that because the press isn't coming, or because your Kickstarter or because your last launch didn't go as well as you thought, that you are not good enough. Because I swear to you, Ichabod, the first book that I ever did, the one that I cried about when people weren't buying enough, the one that I bled for, they still fucking talk about it today. They still talk about it today. They talk about it more today than they did back then. More people buy it. Probably more people buy it now than they did back then. Back when I was a creator who was struggling to get any attention. But the guy who made this, even if I'm a different person, the guy who made this is the same person. He's the same guy. He gets more interviews now. Like Ichabod gets as many interviews now as it did back then. We go into pitch the book more than we did back then. So it can't be a function of me not being good enough. It couldn't have been a function of me not being good enough back then, of making a thing. It may be it's a function of me not having a big enough launch, not having a big enough name, and not being able to stand out from the crowd enough. That is a fucking fact. That's a rock fact. No, sorry, that's not a rock fact. That's a real fact. And so quit lying to yourself that you're not good enough. That does not mean lie to yourself and say it will happen if I do nothing. I have a motto. I say it all the time. If you are happy where you stand right now, then don't do anything new. But if you want to grow, if you're not happy, if you want to make more money, if you want to do, then you have to level up. Maybe not your creator vibe. Maybe not your creatorness. Maybe you're a good enough creator. Maybe you're a great creator. Probably are a great creator if you're here. Because usually people don't start out their career wanting to make more money. They just want to like make a thing. So if you're sitting here, you probably do want to make more money. You probably are already great at creating things. You have to level up your sales game and your marketing game. You have to figure out how to nurture people and get people through your funnel. You have to figure out how to do collaborations and anthologies and other things where like people see you as the expert. People see you as the beacon on the hill. That people, when people talk about something, your name comes up. Making stuff, printing stuff, color, whatever it is, your name comes up. And it doesn't happen overnight. It doesn't fucking happen overnight. Even if you've been doing this 10 years, if you're not where you want to be, you're not going to jump and get there tomorrow. But you are good enough to get there. You are good enough to get there. You just have to level up different parts of your game. That is true. The Cthulhu is hard to spell anthology. Submissions are now open. A couple people on this thing are old friends of mine who've gone through war with me once. But make no mistake, Jack. That anthology, while it was a jam book and I wanted to do it, was also a massive gamble for me. It was a gamble to say that if I did an anthology and I made it the biggest, best, most fun, amazing fucking anthology, if I filled it with tons of creators, all talking about monsters, then if I became the expert on this anthology, and if I went out and sold it, if I could sell other stuff to get to the point where people wanted to work with me, then I could have the success that I wanted. Jack, that was a gamble. Like, I wanted to make this book, but I didn't make a book about ponies. I made a book about monsters because that's what my audience wanted. I found people who I'd worked with before who I wanted to work with again, who saw that I could sell something, and I made something. And now when people open this book, they see all of the art and they go, holy shit, you put this together? You ran this campaign? Holy fuck, like, you must be somebody. Now, when I put this together, Jack, I still think I'm not somebody. But I definitely wasn't somebody when I put this book together at the beginning of 2016. Beginning of 2016, I had 2 successful Kickstarters, raised about $13,000, and I was able to sell things well. I was able to talk about selling things well. But like, I couldn't have known. My goal was to get to somewhere like where I am here now then, but I wasn't here in 2016, which is just a year ago. This time last year, the anthology pages weren't even done yet. I think I had maybe 20 pages in total. I had just ran a $1,800 campaign, which kicked my ass. I thought it would raise more. It did not raise more, clearly, than $1,800. Flash forward to a year, I think I raised $1,800 in the first hour of this new campaign. Now, I spent years learning the marketing part of it. I spent years learning the sales part of it. I spent years building a tiny name so I can leverage that tiny name into a much bigger name. The podcast was a way to leverage that. The anthology was a way to leverage it. Hardcovers were a way to leverage it. All this stuff was a way to leverage that to get to the next level. But you can do that too. It's not fucking rocket science. It's really not. For the anthology, for instance, the biggest success of my career, it was about finding people I wanted to work with that I probably never would and jamming out with them about something we all love, which was monsters. A year ago, I didn't even have the idea for the cover yet. I knew I wanted Aaron to do it. I didn't even have the idea for this cover that is the iconic image of my entire career. A year ago, I think I had just gotten the hardcovers in like this week, because I launched them in October of last year. Which means that I went through a whole fucking year. Like, you have no idea. Like in August, when I got the payment for Spaceship Broken, Jack, I was like, I was teetering on the verge of bankruptcy. Business bankruptcy. And now I'm not. Let's just say I am not. But that shit can happen for you too, because like I've been saying this whole time, it is not a function of your quality as a creator. It is a function of time and whether you can grow as a marketer and a salesperson, as someone who can engage an audience. And if you can do that, all of these opportunities, which you like luff about now, or like beat your head about now, or like cry about now, it's okay if you cry about it now. I used to. Sometimes I still do. You can be here. You can be here too. You just have to maneuver the pieces on the board in a way. Like, there are people who make $10,000, $20,000, $30,000 a day, a month on Amazon, or they do 100,000 campaigns. Like, they can live off like one book launch. And I look at them and go, how the fuck does that happen? Then I look at me now and I say, okay, here's where I am now. What can I leverage to get there? Can I leverage to get? There we go. I mean, this campaign is probably going to fund, but like $20,000 does not get me there. $100,000 would get me there. So now it's about how do I get a launch so big that like nobody can deny it? Because I know that the kinds of things that I want to do, I need to make even a bigger splash than I'm making now. But I know, based on doing this many times and just seeing literally the minute that the Monster Anthology got any heat, people came out of the fucking woodwork. Opportunities came out of the woodwork. All this stuff came out of the woodwork immediately when that campaign had success. It was like I was a different human being the day before I launched and the day after I launched. And the same thing can happen to you. So just stop beating yourself up over it. Because if you say that you can't have success, you're lying to yourself. And it's hurting your chances of actually having success. There's a great exercise that I did a year ago, because I took all of the assets that I had. And I said, I am not doing that. I'm doing something wrong. I took all of the assets and I decided how I could use those assets to better leverage the things that I did. It's where the anthology came from. It's where the hardcovers came from. Going back in 2015, it's where our mascot, Melissa, came from. It's how we've been able to grow. I mean, this Pixie Dust book, Jack, I wrote it in 2012. Yes, I re-edited it since, but like I wrote it before I'd ever launched anything. So it's the same, like I'm looking at me 5 years ago and saying, well, I'm glad I didn't launch it 5 years ago, but like, this is me 5 years ago. It's the same human. Yes, I know more now, but it's this, like I wrote that 5 years ago. It still resonated with me in 2016 when I hired Nick to do the book. What do you think? Have I beaten a dead horse? Or do you need me to beat him? Because I will beat this fucking dead horse forever. So to sum up, for those who are just joining us, the lie that you tell yourself is that you're not good enough to be successful. The truth is that if you keep putting out books and you grow and you learn every time you do so, the success will come. I swear to God, the minute that the anthology hit and it hit big and we raised like $9,000 in the first couple days, my life changed forever. Before this launch, people that I didn't know before were like, oh, they'd heard tale of the things that I did. But the minute that book launched and then they saw the next day, like literally the conversation with those people fucking changed. It changed overnight. It is it's not a function of you as a creator, it is a function of the success that you have. So the minute that you have that sort of level of success, people will come out of the fucking woodwork. You will have everything that you want. I know, as somebody who is literally watching it happen to them, if you just keep working and leveling yourself up with every project that you do and finding more and more ways to stand out from everybody else, You will have that success. So stop lying to yourself. End of conversation. So that was a thing I did. If you enjoyed it, you'll probably enjoy other things that I do. And you'll enjoy the group. You can join at writingandsellingcommunity.com. There you go.